Hello, in this video I'm going to be showing how to decode this Digilock made by WAKI in Japan. I think there might be a couple other companies there now making similar versions. I purchased this when I was stationed in Okinawa, Japan about 12 years ago at a hardware store just because it was something different and I thought it looked interesting. And at some point I forgot the combination years ago and I never figured out how to open it again. Until I think it was this past year at a tool meeting. Nothing, a guy goes by Nothing. He's a very, very good lock picker. He showed me how to decode it. He had actually never seen it before, and he figured out how to decode it in like 3 or 5 minutes. He was really fast, and he had the combination. And so I'm going to be showing you essentially what he showed me as far as how to decode it. So each one of these buttons you press down when you're entering your combination. To unlock it, you press this bar at the bottom to the right. When it's the right combination, that bar will go all the way to the right and the shackle will pop open. To reset these pins, you press this little plastic button on the back and they all pop back up. So if you press them, just press the back and they pop back up. Yeah, that's this guy. I'm going to be using a vise to make life a little easier. Since you can have up or down, and there's a total of 10 numbers there, the total possible combinations for this lock is 1,024. If you don't know any of the numbers being used, I think that's in there pretty sturdy. Yeah. So Nothing did it by hand, but I'm going to be cheating and using paper and a spoon pick to make life a little easier, I hope. What I'm going to be doing is applying tension down here at the bottom and using the spoon pick to apply a little more tension on this bar without having to do it all by my hand, with my hand. Then what I'm going to do is go through and push down each one of these buttons. You're going to feel different buttons require a different amount of force to push down, just like you feel for a binding dial. The catch is on this lock, the ones that require the most force to push down are not the correct combinations. The ones that require the most force to push down are the incorrect numbers. But it's kind of hard to tell that by hand, so the tricks that I think make it easier is if you have something to tension this bar and you press pretty hard on it, you can watch that bar a little bit while you press the number down and then press the back up. So if you press the number down and the bar comes to the left, and I'm not sure if y'all can see that little bit of movement, but if you press the bar down and the number comes to the left, or I'm sorry, press the number down and the bar goes to the left, then you know that that number is not one of the correct numbers. And you can go ahead and remove that from the list. So we know 5 isn't, because it's clearly pushing back when I press it. If I press 4, I can see the same thing. So now I can take 4 out of the list. When I get to 3, to me, looking at this, and it's kind of hard because I do know the combination at this point, but to me, 3 is very ambiguous. I'm not sure. So that's a maybe. I don't know. And what you can do too is, if you don't see the bar moving, pay attention to how much force it takes to push back up. If it clearly takes more force to push it back up than to push it down, then that is likely going to be one of the pins. So I go to 2. 2 does not want to go down, but it does pop up easy. So I'm going to go ahead and take 2 out of the numbers. All right, 1. One for me is hard to tell. I'm putting a good amount of tension on there and trying to be, I guess, honest while knowing the combination, but I think 1 is another one that's hard to tell. Go to 0. 0 is very hard to tell. It's very easy to push down and very easy to push back up. Okay, going to 9. Easy to push down, easy to push back up. Doesn't seem to be affecting the bar. 8. 8 is easy to push down. It's harder to push back up just slightly. When I say 8 is a number, go with that one. I'm not sure if you can see that. 7's definitely a number. Okay. And 6. I don't know if you can see that there, moving again. 6 is definitely not a number. Okay, so now we have 0, 1, 7, 8, and 9. So at this point, we actually cut the combinations down a good bit. So now we're down to 5. So actually at 32 combinations, just trying all of those, which is not too bad. So I'm going to go ahead and put in, so definitely think 7, 8, 9, 0, 1, 3. After pressing these numbers, I can tell that 0 and 1 are harder to push down now. Alright, so they did not want to go down. After I do 7, 8, 9. Okay. 3. 3 is also harder to push down, but there we go. So I guess, yeah, a little bit of trial and error there. But using that method, even if you can't necessarily feel every single one, you can greatly reduce the number of combinations you have to try. So if we, just by taking the ones out, we got it down to 32. It's kind of hard for me to be completely objective and not say like, well, I know what the right combination should be at this point. But yeah, I hope that helps if you ever come across one of these. It's just a little different because it's counterintuitive, because on most of these combination locks, when you're figuring out how to open them, the pushing, it's the one with the most resistance is the binding disc. And in a way, that's actually still true. It's just the most resistance pushing the opposite direction, not pushing down. Yeah, you can see how the lock works, and then the reset there. But yeah, credit goes to nothing for showing me how this is decoded. And yeah, I don't know, thought that was kind of neat. And it's kind of cool what you see in other countries sometimes, just different stuff, something new. Anyways, I guess that's it. Thanks for watching.